If you've been on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, anywhere that social media exists, you've probably seen looks maxing.
I'm pretty much using math for hollow cheeks.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where we're at in terms of looks maxing.
Sleep maxing.
All right, number one is identify as a professional sleeper.
Every kind of maxing, I'll be honest. And one that's a bit weird. I'm just going to call it option maxing. Keeping every door open, never fully committing to one job, one path, one plan, because something better might come along. This seems wise. It's really not. So this isn't new. It's basically min-maxing from tabletop games, game theory, dressed up for real life. In a game, maxing every variable makes sense because you can see the whole board. But life isn't a game with visible stats. You can't calculate the optimal career, relationship, training split, or program from where you're standing. You just can't see every variable into the future. So option maxing isn't actually optimizing anything. It's avoiding the discomfort of choosing badly by refusing to choose at all. Every field that requires depth punishes this. In fitness, the guy running 3 programs and always shocking the muscle in order to maximize all his gains and be perfect in every single field is usually getting weaker than the guy who picked one and stuck to it for at least 12 weeks. Because strength is a compounding return on a narrow, committed input, not a hedge across many. It's the same in a career. The person keeping every door open by never specializing ends up mid-level everywhere, an expert nowhere. Optionality quietly becomes an excuse to never find out if you're actually good at something. There's a name for this discomfort too. The fear of foreclosure. Closing a door feels like a loss, even if the open door was never going anywhere. So people keep paying rent on options they're never going to use and call it flexibility. See, an option only has value when you cash in on it, not when it's left there unused. So you probably heard knowledge is power. No, it's not. Knowledge is potential power. Only when it's used are you powerful. If you know everything but do nothing with it, you're just useless. It's just wasting a perfectly good book left on a shelf to dust away, or read that book and apply its knowledge. What's the point of having the Library of Alexandria and never reading a damn book? It makes sense. You just have all these options that are going to waste. So having more options just adds to more unrealized potential. And it just means you never find out what any single path could have given you. There's a huge gap between maximizing potential and realizing potential. And that only happens with trades you're willing to make. So sacrifice. And that's a gap where a lot of people are stuck for many years because they just don't want to give it up. Real progress is the exact reverse of option maxing. Deliberately closing doors so you can go deep on the one that's left. Pick the program and run with it properly. Pick the specialization and commit to it to a defined period of time. You're not gambling by narrowing your options. You're finally giving one thing enough repetition to actually compound. And the truth is, when you think you're option maxing, you're really not. Example here, let's say you're going to college in the UK and you want to keep your options open so you can go to various different universities and different degrees. So you take maths, really good one to get into anywhere. Take biology, so you can go down a medical field, and you take computer science, so you can stick a bit more to IT or engineering. Now, well, the truth is, what you've done is you haven't really specialized hard on one subject. Yes, you picked a STEM subject, but let's say now you want to take medicine. You got biology, but you don't really have chemistry, and most likely you're going to have to take a foundation year, or you're going to be really behind everyone you're going to be studying. So you've kind of made yourself thin, but that option is available, but it's harder. Or you could do engineering because you got maths and computer science, but studying physics is quite a different discipline from just purely studying maths. So you are going to be slightly behind your peers, but for someone who's going to engineering, it should actually be a hobby in your own time. You should like studying different parts and components of different vehicles and studying mechanics. If not, then you're going to have a lot of homework to do when you go to uni. The only one you can probably do straight is computer science because you've done computer science. But you see how you've still narrowed your options? So in reality, you're not going to do drama. You're not going to do art of some kind. You're not even going to do sports science. You could actually go into sports science, but again, you're going to have to be someone who studies that in their own time. You could start from scratch, but you're going to have to narrow back down into that field anyway. You've already removed options without even realizing, and then when you finally pick that thing, you're either going to have to specialize in that, so actually drop everything else you're doing before, or you would have been specializing in that to begin with because it's something you love and it's a passion, it's your hobby. So honestly, this idea of option maxing is just a lie. Real progress is actually the complete reverse of option maxing. I know I mentioned him a lot, but Alex Hormozi did mention something great in his Chris Williamson podcast. Keeping your options open isn't neutral. It's practice at being indecisive. And every time you rehearse that, you make your next decision harder, not easier. So next time you catch yourself keeping things open, just in case, ask yourself whether you're actually protecting your future or just avoiding the risk of committing to one. The people getting the real results in the gym or anywhere else in their life aren't the ones with the most options available. They're the ones who ran out of doors to keep open.